Absolutely Cars here, and welcome to the channel. Today guys, we have something very interesting for you. As you guys are aware and do watch the channel regularly, I do have and own the Audi Rs7. Now I thought it was time for a little bit of a review. So that said, we're going to head towards a nice kind of quiet location where I can look around the car, explain to you my opinions about the car and what I feel that they can improve on the car, things that they have done very, very well with the car, because the car is phenomenal. And yeah, just a kind of a standard look around the car, guys, because obviously this year is 2018 and they have now kind of announced the new Audi A7, which there's going to be an Audi RS7, no doubt about it, and there are slight differences, but the powerhouse, the engine, is pretty much the same. So I want to kind of just give my thoughts and opinions on that, and what I think there is different about this car, and whether I would go out of my way and buy a new Audi RS7 or keep the one I've got. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Let's do it. So, Audi's RS7 department really does have performance in just about every size and shape. Whether you prefer the storming RS3 hot hatch, a van, super estate, there's something for everyone, and sitting at the top is the Audi RS7 Sportback. However, if the standard RS7 Sportback isn't quite hardcore enough for you, try the recently introduced performance version. Now this has been out roughly around about a year now, guys, for sale, and as you can see, the car we are reviewing today is the Audi RS7 Performance. So, on the RS7 Sportback, performance spec commands a £6,500 premium over the standard car, taking total outlay to a substantial 92 grand. But what do you get for that extra money? Well, from the outside, there's a titanium grey finish for the wing mirrors, window trim and grille, with larger 21-inch alloys are fitted as standard. So this car, obviously, guys, that you're looking at now, looks a little bit different to the standard, well, the performance version that comes out. The car originally did have its original grey, titanium grey finish on the wing mirrors and all of the diffusers at the back and the front, etc. But it just wasn't kind of like stealthy enough for me. I wanted something a little bit different. Now, I had the windows tinted. Now, the windows in the RS7 Performance do come tinted as standard, but they just wasn't dark enough for me. I've gone to the legal requirement that obviously British government are allowed for window tinting. So I actually got my car blacked out, made it a more of a stealthier look, got the badges backed out, etc, etc. So this is what you see on this car now. So this is an RS7 Performance, but just with my own stamp on it as such. So it does, for me, it does look great, and I've had a lot of comments about the car and about how people like and perceive the car. So it's not to everyone's taste, but I certainly do like the car. The blacked out wheels and just the blacked out kind of trims around the windows and the front, and the trims at the back around the diffuser just look absolutely excellent. So what's inside, guys? Inside there are more subtle updates. Privacy glass is as standard, as I mentioned, okay, because obviously it does come with the performance version and I wanted something a bit darker. As is part leather, part Alcantara trim. Carbon fibre inlays with blue highlights are also included, but you can change these to aluminium for no extra cost. Now, as you'll see further in the film, guys, or the video, you will see that I have the aluminium carbon fibre inside. I just thought dark, even though the car's blue, and I love blue, as you know, I just thought that blue and the dark would just be a little bit too much inside the car. I wanted something to make the car look a little bit more airy inside, a little bit more spacious, a little bit more luxurious, and I just thought that the kind of aluminium carbon fibre inserts inside the car were the way forward. So that's where I went with that one. But let's move on to the powerhouse. However, the most important updates are under the skin and under the bonnet, which is basically what I'm trying to say. Where the 4-litre twin-turbo V8 has been revised to boost power from 552 to 597. So the standard RS7 is 552, and then your standard RS7 Performance is 597. While a new sports exhaust enhances the engine's soundtrack, and it obviously, if you watch the beginning of the video, guys, you can obviously say that this car sounds epic. It sounds amazing. It's one of my favourite traits to this car. I really, really do like it. This hasn't been upgraded any chance, or the exhaust or anything like that, but the car has been upgraded engine-wise. But I'll get to that in just a moment. So this setup shaves 0.2 of a second off the 0 to 62 mile an hour time, with the RS7 Performance completing the benchmark sprint in only 3.7 seconds. Okay, so when you buy this car, it comes standard at about 597, about 600 brake. That's the performance version. I've had this tuned up by a brilliant company called Litchfield Engineering, based up in Leeds, around that area somewhere. And they have tuned this RS7 up to a staggering 750 brake. Now, that is just something unbelievable. Okay? It is really, really fast. Now, when you buy the standard RS7, the car is electronically limited to 155 mile an hour. But that's the standard RS7. But for a 1,500 quid more, you can raise the limit to 174 mile an hour. And then if you can add another 10.5 grand for the Dynamic Package Plus, this again puts it up to a frankly astounding 189 mile an hour. So this is what the Audi RS7 Performance has, and completely full stop from standard. Okay, it has all the extras, etc. So it makes it a well over 100 grand car. But I wanted it even faster. 189 mile an hour is great. Its top speed is brilliant, but I wanted something that was going to be rapidly quick. So 750 mile an hour now has taken that RS7 to well over 200 mile an hour. I think it's roughly about 205, 206 mile an hour that car does now. It's probably dropped a little bit of power in the last year or so, but it's punching out a good 200 mile an hour from this Audi R7. This package also includes a 20-inch ceramic brakes, sports suspension, and dynamic steering, which is exactly what this car has got. And you can see in the video, the brakes are absolutely huge. They are almost the size of the wheels, for God's sake. They're 21 inches. It's ridiculous. So they are very, very, very big brakes, very powerful, and just very all-round brilliant brakes. So, on the road, the RS7 delivers the kind of all-round performance that we have come to expect from the Audi's RS models. The Drive Select system allows you to switch between settings to tailor your car for cruising comfort or focused driving. And in dynamic mode, the car comes alive with instant response and plenty of pops and bangs from the exhaust as you rush through the gear. Now, like I said, it is one of the best sounding cars I've got and ever will own. It is brilliant. Now, there's 750 Newton meters of torque for instant overtaking, while the ride on the standard air suspension is surprisingly comfortable, even in the sportiest settings. Now, because I've had this upgraded to have a 750 brake, this does about 850 Newton meters of torque, maybe even slightly more. It is rapid off the line. It really is. So for that 3.7 seconds, it now does it in about 3.2 seconds. It is very, very quick. Okay, so sure, some bumps are fat in the cabin, but the RS7 doesn't have a spine-shattering ride like some family cars, fast family cars do, like the BMW M5. That's quite bumpy in some places. But the rapid steering rack reacts instantly to your inputs, but there isn't much feedback through the wheel, so you're left wondering exactly what the front wheel is actually doing. The car's got great steering, great handling, it's got four-wheel drive, but while the four-wheel drive system delivers a lot of grip, the lack of feedback means you just can't make that most out of the power on offer. So you've got the power in a straight line, which is great, but on corners it just lacks it a little bit. But other than that, it is still an excellent car. I think perhaps the RS7's best feature is the fact that you can dial everything back and simply cruise along in refined comfort, knowing that the vast performance is available at the press of a button. So, guys, this is pretty astounding. It's a very, very, very good car. I love the interior of it. It's a great interior. It's very luxurious. Now, if you look at the kind of up-and-coming Audi A7 that they've announced, the lines are very kind of a little bit sleeker. The back kind of like lighting, it goes right across the back now rather than just kind of on the edges with the lights. It goes right across the, obviously the rear bonnet even, shall I say. And I do like that, but it looks a little bit too much for my liking. The interior is going to be very, very similar to the new Audi A8, which hopefully we'll be doing a review in the next up and coming weeks, because I want to get my hands on that, and it looks really, really good car. Not really sort of a car that I would personally buy, because it's more for kind of like the business person. It's more of a chauffeur car than a high performance car like the Audi R7 range. But the Audi A7 models and the A8 models are going to be very similar inside the cars, but they're going to be very different to the exterior. Obviously, the A8 models have this kind of really crazy space futuristic inside the car. It looks absolutely amazing. So the engine on the new A7s are going to be very, very similar to the RS performance of the old Gen A7s and the old Gen RS7s. It's just going to be slightly tweaked a little bit more to get a bit more power out of it. Hopefully the steering is a little bit more kind of like responsive and it handles a little bit better in the corners. But I reckon it's going to be roughly around about the same. So you're going to be looking at a rough premium of around about 90 to 100 grand for this car when it does release. Now, the A7 is releasing sometime this year. The RS7 is probably not going to be released until sometime in 2019. So it's a little bit far away yet, guys, but really, I think I'll probably stick with the RS7 I've got. I prefer it. I prefer that kind of sleek line that ends at the back. Doesn't appeal to everyone, but I love it. It's one of the features that I loved about the car when I first saw it. And yeah, excellent car. So anyway, guys, that I said, that's the end of this video. I do hope you enjoyed this video, guys. It's just obviously a brief discussion about my car and about kind of like all the specs or some of the specs inside the car. I've had the car over a year now and I've never done a review like this before about it. I know there's reviews out there on the internet, on YouTube, but this is my opinion on it and kind of my thoughts on the up and coming stuff that's coming out in the next year or so. And yeah, something to look forward to, guys. So anyway, without further ado, I do hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, please leave a like, please comment, and please subscribe to the channel, guys. And I will see you on the next video. Take care.